All right. How's it going, y'all? Mic check. Mic check. All right. Cam check. Um, Good stuff. What was it? Nah, Bronny. Didn't you see that legendary break? What about Bronny? AOE. Oh, ROA. Gotcha. Did I ever finish gear out for Renovables? I did put the YouTube guide out now, and I got a planner for it. I don't have a Maxroll guide yet. I just haven't had time. It was either I make the video or I do the Maxroll guide kind of thing. And the Maxroll guide would have taken longer to do than the video, so I'm like, well, I can at least get the video out today. So I was barely able to do it before the stream. The testers apparently they aren't tradable at all. Yeah, the Pitfire's Gall are like account bound for some reason. Like no idea why just that item is account bound. I wonder if it was like that in the review copy of the game. It probably was, and we just didn't know, or we didn't care, I guess. Because who were we going to trade it to anyways? With like 99.9% of players playing the review copy playing Spiritborn, so yeah. Sure is an oversight, but let me put the chat right here. My chat's not sticking. There you go. There we go. And let me pull this slightly. I think I got it. Almost. All right, there we go. All right, so we're gonna jump into the game. I might have a slightly different approach to stream though. I might actually do like a little bit of playing and a little bit of guide writing and kind of going back and forth between the two. That's what I want to do. Whether I actually end up doing it is a different story. Mister, what's going on? Been using Heartseeker bill. You posted updates. Hit a 5.6 bill crit today. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, I actually need to. I need to make it known in the video guides that I did make a pretty big update with like the shroud and stuff, because people get confused. It's like they look at the video and then they look at the planner. It's like, why the shroud is there now? And I guess if you're only looking at the video and not like the written Maxroll guide or whatnot, you would be a little confused. So I think I might need to just make a disclaimer like on all the videos, guides, builds. Oh, let me fix that stream elements link thing. That's kind of bothering me. I mean, it's kind of the same way. The Rails video, just wondering why you go precision, not the new key passive for imbuements, because the new key passive does nothing for the imbuements except for poison, and you can't really scale that. You can't scale poison with a skill that literally does not hit like many times a second. So it'll be absolute garbage if you try to do it with the new key passive. Like not even close to being good. Nope, it still kind of gives the same. I was trying to like stack it, but I don't know how or why I'm not able to stack. Let's see what happens. Let's try it again. Nope, not gonna do it, I guess. All right, I just fail at the dots or whatever. You hit the damage materials. Oh, very nice. You're sober tonight. I might get a break. Digital, what's going on, man? Also, Master, what's happening? Yeah, man, I am definitely on that train. Just try concealment when you build for perma crit and perma vulnerability. I mean, you still get both, right? I mean, every time you cast Rain of Arrows, it's a crit, and precision also, like first enemy hit is a crit. There's never a time where my Rain of Arrows doesn't crit, and they're always vulnerable because of Flurry. You hit them with Flurry once, and you hit them with Flurry and they're vulnerable. So you have perma vulnerable, perma crit anyway. Did you hear about the Giga Precision bug? Are you talking about where like any skill can proc precision stacks? I actually was talking about that in the Rogue channel about how like, and even in the video, like how cutthroat skills were actually procking precision stacks. Is that the one you're talking about? If Distant Knights could spend energy like consistently, it's so much worse. Can you break it down even more then? That's good. Got a question about the Rain of Arrows build. Would it be viable with rapid fire? I mean, technically you can, but I don't see why you will want to. Like, it gets really clunky if you try to do it with rapid fire, and everything just kind of slows down a ton. But you can. It's just going to perform quite a bit worse if you did it with rapid fire. I don't have a Shroud. I have Tears. Does it work in this build? Yeah. Shroud is not a Shroud of False Death is not a necessary mythic unique for any build to function. It's just a really good mythic unique that just gives +1 to all passives. So it's just a damage like bump. That's really technically all it is. It's a good damage bump, but it's just a damage bump nonetheless. So any build that has Shroud of False Death will still function with Materials Might as it did before Shroud was able to be dropped now. In fact, all of my builds on Maxroll, actually, like the video guides, were all done without Shroud because that was before Shroud was able to be dropped. Because Giga Bug is if you run it on Rapid Fire, the Rapid Fire cast itself can max fill precision stacks, eliminating the need for a basic. You could fill stack spam Rapid Fires like it's Barrage. If only Rapid Fire felt good enough. Like if it felt good enough, probably could. That would actually make for an interesting, like, you know, inner sight or preparation rapid fire build or whatever. Is my Starless attack speed GA? It is. It's not necessary, but it is GA. Midnight, what's going on? Whenever with Barrage is good. That's actually what I did at first. Yeah, whenever I was with Barrage in this build. It really does it with Barrage. Has he done it in the recently though? Like we're talking about like since like the launch of season 6 or the review build, because it is a little different than what it was. And I know because I talked to Woody Joe quite a bit, and like I know he hasn't done anything in the recent with Rain of Arrows. I've tried anything with Pin Shot a little bit, but I guess I just really wasn't intrigued because, like, finding out how to do boss damage on Pin Shot is just a nightmare. So, I mean, I get better AoE with Rain of Arrows and a bigger clear and way better boss damage than Pin Shot with Rain of Arrows. So, like, sure, I can do things on Pin Shot, but I think at this point it's almost kind of like a why. Aerostorm. Okay, Joseph, that's different than Rain of Arrows. Aerostorm and Rain of Arrows are not the same thing. I don't know why. They're totally two different things. Rain of Arrows is an ultimate, and Arrow Storms is a aspect, a proc. You said Rain of Arrows with Barrage, and then now you're saying Arrow Storm. Like those are two different things. But it could work. Maybe throwing it in Darius. Nope. Nope. So here's the issue with Barrage, doing it with Barrage. Because I actually, when I first put together, I actually did it with Barrage first. But the issue with Barrage is the fact that Barrage can spin precision stacks. And that's bad. That's bad because you want your precision stacks to all happen on Rain of Arrows, not on Barrage. So you need to actually stack precision with a skill that does not spin precision stacks. So that would be any basic attack, or anything, or sorry, anything that isn't a marksman skill. Basically, at this point, it's kind of silly. You said Barrage can do it as well. It's tied to arrow count. That's interesting. But Crafty, here's my question: Why does it? So but it doesn't do it with the proc though, right? Like it doesn't do it with like chance for like double attacks or whatever, right, Crafty? I can tell you that because it definitely doesn't do it with like double hit Heartseeker or whatever, right? That I do know with fundamental Heartseeker. Because if that was the case, you can do like a. If so, that must be a new bug because I'm 100% certain that did not work in the review copy of the game. But I'll be honest, I haven't looked at it since then. So you may be right. So theoretically, you can do it with Twisting Blaze. Yes, you can. But there's no advantage of doing it with Twisting Blaze versus with Flurry. With Flurry, you get heal and you get a teleport. With Twisting Blaze, what do you get, right? In a sense. My wife wouldn't be able to tell the difference in movement. She just grab the controllers and start smacking. Yeah, okay. I mean, if she would prefer to do it with rapid fire, she can. Keyword can. So yeah, if she wants to switch Flurry out with rapid fire, go right ahead. Arrow Storm or Flurry for leveling is what you use for leveling 65. Oh yeah, Arrow Storms is actually a very good leveling build. Kind of falls off later though, but it's a really good leveling build. Hey, start this build today is great. Yeah, it's fun, man. I'm glad you didn't trust all your GA Hakons. I certainly did. And of course now I'm regretting that, but it's okay. Getting a good Hakon is actually pretty easy. I'm actually glad I don't have to worry about a legendary amulet anymore. You know how stupid it is to farm for like the ancestral like two passive or 3 passive GA amulet, man. That's just like those things are unicorns. You don't care about the bottom part of Beast Fall boost for this. Nope. I know I love pinch shot, but boss damage is abysmal. Yeah, it really is. But I mean, there's just too many things in the game right now with like that has really high boss health scaling, especially in the pits or whatever. So it kind of forces you to play a build that has really good single target damage that can do a little bit of AoE. There's way too many like too much content that does rely on single target damage. High rare is 4GA, very rare. Anyone in here have a 2 to 4GA Pitfire's Goal? I'm sure some people do, but you can't trade them. They're account bound. I don't know why, but they are. Like all of them are. Like anyone you find is account bound. Yep, pretty much. Honestly, but you really don't need like multiple GA pit fighters, to be honest with you. Like the only thing you truly care about that's actually worth a damn is getting it to 6 seconds, basically. Like that's the most important part. There's no way you got to see this. I mean, go farmer for you. Like go kill Zir a couple of times, take a look at the ring, and watch it and watch it be the account bound. You want the CDR for smoke grenade? For what build? I'm not ready yet. Rapid fire? Oh, AFK Rogue. Ah, okay. Crap the materials, I guess. What's this Flurry Rain of Arrows? Flurry doesn't do any damage. It's all Rain of Arrows. You could use Flurry to get precision stacks, LOL, and teleport around and proc vulnerable and heal. Actually, did I switch my Paragon board out? I think I did. If I'm using dance, then I need to do the rotation correctly. Then I kind of forgot because it's not muscle memory yet. Is that build better than a Heartseeker endgame build? Yeah. Any build that makes Horde T4 with some ease? Yeah, Dance of Knives and Rain of Arrows. They both have a lot of AoE. Barrage is decent too, but like anything victimized related though, you know, with the ICD, kind of makes it so you don't really have any control where the procs are, and there's such a wide area. So you'll do fine with it in hordes, but you're gonna notice a little bit where it's like, why am I not getting as many kills as I should, because everything is so spread out, and the procs are random, and you know, have an ICD. So hordes kind of feel a little weird with victimized builds, to be honest with you. Great in like pits because everything is linear in pit, but hordes, there's a nice slap in the horde. Oh yeah, absolutely. Best horde build for sure. It kind of begs to be seen though, like which one's the fastest pit speed farmer though, because that title has went to Dance of Knives for a bit. But I think honestly, like I haven't tricked out Rain of Arrows yet. But I have a feeling I can probably do like some like 3.5, 4 minute 90s roughly. If I don't screw up my rotations. with GG gear, obviously at that point. Like, I mean, we're talking about like near Korean gear. I think that's possible. If you don't have Ring of Starless Skies, what do you replace it with? A legendary ring, just like a regular legendary ring. Or I guess you could do Pit Fighter's Goal if you have it. That's it. That's an easy drop in just for the 33% multiplicative. That's really 1.33 times 1.33. But yeah, you can do that. But it is reliant on you hitting your smoke grenades though. So it can be a little challenging initially to play, but it is like good. I'll have a Maxroll guide up with you know the Ancients version or whatever soon. Soon as in like hopefully tomorrow. We'll see. Is there a CDR threshold for random rails for this to feel good? Well, there's only really one place you're getting your CDR from, and that's the amulet. So I mean, pretty much if you get a GA on the random rails cooldown reduction, like you're done. Like, you don't need to do more than that. Because pretty much you spending all of your flurry or all your energy with the beast fall boost is pretty much going to nab the remaining cooldown on what like wherever you're at anyways for the most part. Like if you got like 12 or 13 seconds on your random rails, that's fine. One flurry or whatever will pretty much nab most of that cooldown regardless. And then you get a little bit on your boots naturally. Okay, we'll nab some whispers real quick. Trent, appreciate the follow. Alright, is the boss out there? Boss dude, you there? He is. Let's go get him. Go. Yeah, that was an instant delete. Actually, I didn't even see his health go down. He just went from like stagger to like straight up dead. Dedge. Alright, let's go. Oh, goblin. Is it okay to use daggers instead of swords for that build? I mean, yeah, you can. But I mean, swords give you crit damage as an implicit. So while your flurry will attack slightly faster, the crit damage would be worth more at the end of the day, even if it is just a little bit of crit damage. That's going to be a little bit more valuable than the daggers. But if you found like, if you haven't found any good any good swords, and all you have is daggers, and yeah, that's fine. Like you're not missing out on much. But preferably you would want like swords. Glad you have a third crafting. You have third crafting the Paragon board for this. My homebrew board sucks. Oh, good man. I gotta thank you and I guess a few other people who kind of like talked about it. Because I actually honestly had no interest in this until like people started saying, and you were one of them that's like, yo, it's actually pretty good. I'm like, it's not that I don't believe you. I just haven't seen anything. kind of thing. And then I guess I woke up yesterday and I was like, you know what? Let's give it a try. I heard of quite a few people say, it's actually like, underrated. So I'm like, okay, we'll make one on live stream, and we did. There's no boss over there. Infernal Hordes. Actually, yeah, let's do an Infernal Horde. Why not? Also, Yucky, appreciate the follow. Zio, what's going on? Oh, you're off? I just saw that you were there. Hey, Rogue player, it's me, the Drew player. What's up? Ever try any of the new side quests and new Hantu? Nah. Heartseeker versus Barrage, which is better. Barrage performs a little better than Heartseeker, just a little. Mainly because of the Umber Crux. You want to do some sellers? No. I gotta find a compliment rotation. I don't know if I want to use Smoke Grenade before Rain of Arrows, or do I want to do Couch Shots before Rain of Arrows, or do I want to do Dash before Rain of Arrows? I do like saving my dash stacks though. My dash charges. Still Rogue. Yeah. I mean, there's like 99% of other content creators that are like Spiritborn if you're interested in that. Usually it's the other way around. It's like, oh, I'm glad he's not playing Spiritborn. And you're like, oh, he's playing Rogue still? What? How dare he? I'm just missing out on what? What am I missing out on? Some good action? What kind of action, sir? What kind of action are we talking about? Is it rated PG action? Oh, so I'm missing out on an arbitrary number? Ah, okay. I'll get back to you when that actually has meaning. And if I really want my damage numbers to look a little bit higher, I can just always make a video and like, you know, edit more zeros in my videos. I mean, it's kind of the same thing, right? I can always edit some zeros in my videos and be like, hey, look at the damage I'm not doing. But, you know, there'll be people who will love it, right? People who will love those extra zeros. They'll be like, yo, I'm clicking on that video because I saw 2 extra zeros that wasn't there before. Right? T's and Q's, I know, right? I gotta edit out the B, right? And then add a T. You know what I'm saying? You ready a new class? Well, fair. I think that's cool. You see what I did there, Dooley? I think it's cool that you're already in a new class, right? You see how like people can differ and like different things? Like I prefer to kind of like main out and make a bunch of builds for one class first. Like I prefer to do that, right? Whereas you prefer to play a bunch of different classes, you know, pretty early. And that's fine, right? You know what that's called? You know what that's called? People being different. It's my job? Are you sure it's my job? What's my job? Tell me, Dooley, what's my job right now? What's my job? You seem to know my job better than I know my job. So tell me, what is my job? I mean, I want to know because I mean, you know, maybe I misread my contract wrong, or you know. Nah, I'm waiting to hear it. I'm really curious. You're a super cool D4 streamer. Jar what's going on, man? Can we see you and got to do a pit race in a couple of weeks? Nope. Because you're literally asking somebody who has little experience on pushing, nor does he really want to do that, versus someone who has like more experience than like even like 99% of the actual pit pushers. It's not even a close race, sir. if it was more fun, I'd be more obliged to do something like that. But there's just no way that I'm gonna actually like take the time to fail hundreds of times just to see if I can beat Crafty, which obviously I know I won't. Obviously. Is there beef in chat? No, there's no beef. Someone seemed pretty upset because I'm choosing to play Rogue for a couple of weeks, and somebody was obviously like bothered by that. And then I'm being told that I'm only doing it because it's my job. So I was trying to figure out exactly what my job was. It's like I'm sure he wasn't around during the D3 days where I played majority Demon Hunter and I wasn't part of Maxroll. Aren't you a rogue man? I am a rogue man. That's the thing. That's why I want to know. Oh, I didn't see it that way. Sorry, new to your stream. Oh no, mate. No, you're good. You're good. I'm just not someone who enjoys pushing pits, basically. I don't enjoy the activity at all. In fact, I loathe the activity and say lots of bad things about it all the time on my stream. So when someone asks me how high a pit did I do on X build, I say none because I don't push pits. I once saw a die accidentally make a druid. Fever Dream. I actually might drop the dance board. I almost don't think it's worth the extra action and kind of like casting a later Rain of Arrows just to try to get that buff to happen. What was I using instead? The board that's in the video, like the original board. So I wouldn't do like, I would just go back to probably Eldra's Bounty. I know GRs have more skill expression, especially for high tier, but they're the same fundamentally. Not really. No. I would actually argue that the high tier GRs had considerably more skill expression. And high GRs pushing was strategically different, like a whole different game mode. As much as I hate fishing for GRs and Diablo 3, like GR pushing was a fundamentally different game. In Diablo 4, it's literally the same thing as speed farming, except you spend 10 minutes on the boss. And that is if you choose to play that boss, because the boss has to be, for most builds, Spirit Caller or you reset. So all you're basically doing is a speed farm with higher HP with no strategical difference between any of the classes. So every video that you watch looks exactly the same because they do exactly the same thing. I can tell you when someone says, oh, I cleared an X pit on this build. I can tell you exactly what they did, which boss they got, how they approached it without even watching the video, because it's all legit the same thing. It's not the people's fault. It's not the player's fault by any means. It's just that that's just the way it's designed. Like there's no difference. It's all the exact same thing. So that to me, that's boring. I wouldn't want to watch legit everyone do the exact same thing and farm for the exact same boss. Like, or two, boss or two, maybe two. Just depends on which build you're talking about. Or if it's Spiritborn, you have a slightly more options on the boss for your speed 150 clear, right? But whereas in Diablo 3, if someone was to push for multi-shot, right? Like multi-shot Demon Hunter. If you look at the leaderboard for a multi-shot Demon Hunter, like UE or whatever like that in D3, you know by looking at the gear that people play differently. There's different approaches. You know, you can recognize a good player from a bad player easily on multi-shot. Easily. Like legitimately, someone can have, 1,000, 2,000 more Paragon than you, right? With better gear and still clear lower than someone who's actually skilled at playing multi-shot. Like there's a difference. Right? That doesn't really exist in D4. Either you have the gear for it and you fished enough for it, or you don't. There's not much you can do to manipulate the pits to make up for the lack of gear you may or not have. So it's either I trade and get GG gear, or I real money trade to be competitive with those who did do it, because skill expression doesn't really exist as much, or I can't compete with the other people who are doing the said thing. Or I just don't have the time to attempt to trade as much to be able to get the gear necessary to be able to compete in that market. You see what I'm saying? I'm not knocking the players. Like I always say, like I never knock the people for doing what you're supposed to do.